camera pans slowly across the dimly lit Los Angeles studio. Everything looks calm, professionally staged like any other music video set. But what was captured that day during the behind-the-scenes of Priceless, the long-awaited collaboration between Lisa Manabang of Blackpink and Maroon 5, would become one of the most talked-about moments in pop culture this year. Started like any other scene. The crew called for quiet, the director raised his hand and the lights shifted. Lisa Blackpink stood across from Adam Levine. The tension between them was palpable, not as discomfort but as deep character immersion. Concept of the video was inspired by the espionage energy of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but what unfolded behind the lens blurred the line between performance and something intensely real. Lisa was wearing a sleek, dark outfit, her makeup subtle yet cinematic. Her eyes locked with Adam's. No dialogue was needed. They were preparing for a scene that involved no words, only energy. And just before the take began, Lisa leaned in and whispered something to Adam. No one in the room heard what she said. The mic didn't catch it. But Adam's face changed. He froze. His usual playful demeanor turned into a stillness that everyone in the room noticed. The director didn't yell cut. Cameras kept rolling. What followed was an improvised shot, raw and unfiltered. Adam looked stunned, Lisa Blackpink walked away slowly, and the crew for a few seconds didn't breathe. In the teaser clip released just a day ago, this moment was only 1 second long. A glance. A look. And yet, social media went into meltdown. What did Lisa whisper? Was it scripted? Was it spontaneous? Fans from the US, France, Korea, Germany, and even Australia started dissecting every frame. It wasn't long before fan theories exploded. Some claimed Lisa was in character, delivering an emotional line off script. Others insisted it was a personal message to Adam. But the reaction, the emotion, wasn't acting. That was the consensus. Even industry insiders started chiming in. Frederic Arnault, who's been closely watching Lisa's international ventures, reposted the teaser with a cryptic caption, "Some things are better left unsaid." Production team later confirmed that Lisa had requested privacy regarding that moment, which only deepened the mystery. But here's what we do know. That day, the dynamic between Lisa and Adam went from two professionals collaborating to two artists stepping into a moment that neither of them expected. It wasn't just about the music. It wasn't even about the video. It was about an interaction, silent, unrecorded, deeply human. People on set say that after the scene was done, Adam needed a break. He walked off set, didn't say much. Lisa stayed behind, silent, composed, but not unaffected. One of the camera operators later posted anonymously that it was the most intense few seconds I've ever filmed in 12 years. As the video progresses, the story intensifies. The acting becomes so authentic, so emotionally layered, that even the editor said it felt more like cutting a short film than a music video. And fans noticed. The lighting, the glances, the timing, everything was orchestrated yet unpredictable. And the numbers prove it. Within 24 hours of its behind-the-scenes clip release, it had already surpassed 3.5 million views globally. Especially in the US and Europe, where Maroon 5 holds a strong fan base, the reaction was overwhelming. But the surprise came from the Asian market, particularly Thailand, where Lisa's name trends faster than any headline. Midway through the behind-the-scenes footage, another moment catches viewers off guard. Lisa, during a break, is seen humming a melody, unreleased. Her voice is soft, unguarded. Adam walks by and pauses. They exchange a short glance. No words. Yet it speaks volumes. Comment sections flooded with speculation. Is this a teaser for a new collaboration? A solo project? A hidden message? What makes this video different is that it's not just documentation of a production. It's a canvas of unspoken emotions, raw intensity, and the perfect blend of two worlds, Lisa's elegance and mystique with Adam's charismatic vulnerability. The last segment of the footage ties everything together. The final scene was almost cut from the video, reportedly due to how real it felt. Lisa stands facing a shattered mirror prop, her reflection fractured. The director had planned it as a symbolic shot, but Lisa's improvisation took it further. She touches the glass, turns around, and for a split second looks directly into the camera. That stare, it wasn't just acting. It was layered with meaning, with story, with reality. As the screen fades to black, viewers are left with silence. Not just an audio decision, but a narrative one. The silence forces reflection. What did we just witness? A performance? Or something that went beyond? Now more than ever, artists are expected to maintain personas, to separate their real selves from their stage versions. But this behind-the-scenes footage shattered that illusion. It showed Lisa Blackpink as an artist, a woman, a presence that doesn't just perform, she transforms. As the camera continued rolling, the scene unfolded in a way no one could have scripted. Lisa, seated quietly near the edge of the set, seemed momentarily unaware that she was still being filmed. Clamor of production faded into the background, and what remained was the raw essence of a person fully immersed in her world. There was a moment when Levine looked over, a quick glance exchanged, not as global superstars but as artists sharing the weight of an unspoken moment. No words were necessary. And then came the whisper. Lisa leaned forward slightly, brushing a strand of hair away from her face, and whispered something inaudible, so soft that the boom mic barely caught it. But it was enough to change the air in the room. Maroon 5's body language shifted immediately. Adam's expression turned reflective, almost solemn. A subtle, collective pause. The band members seemed to stop what they were doing, not out of confusion, but out of respect. It was like the atmosphere itself thickened, charged with something intangible. What did she say? That's the question that has ignited countless fan threads, reaction videos, and Reddit theories. Some believe it was a personal message to the crew. Others insist it was a memory she shared, triggered by the emotional tone of the track. A few even claim it was a line from an unreleased verse, something left out of the final mix of Priceless. But no one knows for sure. And that's exactly what makes the moment so gripping. This wasn't just behind-the-scenes content. It was a portal into something more honest, more intimate than any press junket or staged Q&A could ever offer. You could feel the vulnerability, the artistic risk-taking, the unfiltered connection between collaborators who have built careers off perfection, and for once chose authenticity instead. For the fans who have followed Lisa since her early Blackpink days, this moment marks a shift. Not just in her artistry, but in her presence as a global icon. She's no longer just the dancer with razor-sharp precision or the singer who commands stages with a single glance. Here, she's fully human, deliberate, emotional, and unafraid to show her fractures. That fracture became the focal point of the scene's second half. As the crew slowly resumed work, Lisa Blackpink remained quiet, her gaze fixed on the floor. Then, something remarkable happened. A producer walked over with a note in hand. Lisa read it, smiled faintly, and tucked it into her jacket. Later, sources close to the production hinted that it wasn't a line cue or logistical note. It was a message from one of the band members, thanking her for grounding the entire session with that moment of silence. It was proof that sometimes the loudest message is the one unspoken. And in a digital world flooded with content where every frame is overproduced and polished, this clip stood out by doing the opposite. It embraced the awkward, the quiet, the human. And fans responded deeply. Clips of the moment spread like wildfire. TikTok edits, YouTube shorts, Twitter threads dissecting the mic audio, even slowed down analyses comparing the eye movements of each band member. It was as if the internet collectively understood, this wasn't just BTS content. It was a cultural artifact. For Lisa, it was a subtle yet seismic shift in narrative. She didn't need to release a statement. Her silence did more than Jay ever could. And in that whisper, that fragile, nearly invisible moment, a new chapter began. To everyone watching, keep your eyes open. Every glance, every breath, every unspoken word in this footage tells a story. And as fans, we're only beginning to understand what that story really is. Don't forget to watch the full behind the scenes. Like, subscribe, and turn on notification for more exclusive updates. Every frame holds a clue. And remember, sometimes what you don't hear speaks the loudest. If this story moved you, share it. Tell someone to watch. 'Cause Lisa Manaban didn't just film a video, she created a moment. And it's one the world won't forget.